Hi, welcome to Austin, Texas, home of Texas Roller Derby. I'm Kate or Die.
And I'm Greta Ground and Pound. And tonight we are bringing you an epic matchup. We have the Rhinestone Cowgirls versus Las Putas del Fuego. And both teams are coming off of some big losses, so they're both very hungry for the win tonight.
Both teams are down a couple key players, too.
Yes.
The Putas are missing 2 blockers, and the Rhinestones have 3 injuries, including their captain and co-captain. So it's anybody's game tonight.
It really is, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the Cowgirls do without their leadership on the track with them tonight. Stay tuned. We hope you are as excited as we are here on KCWX.
Now entering the track, your 4-time Pavella Cup champions, the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Captain, Dusty Doublewide. Co-captain, Ali Moni. Bad Apple. Caddy Wampas. Cold War. Gnarly Carly. Sassy Squasher. Mad Mexican. A Blazing Grace. Bikini Killer. Alternates for the Rhinestones, Colt Lightning. Vanna Fook. Break and Bake. Dom Draper.
Now entering the track, Las Putas del Fuego. Captain, Like a Boss. Co-captain, Rasta Fury. Corazon. Sabotage. Putahantas. Smitey Mouse. Knockout. Bitty Bitty Boom Boom. Eduskator. Buffy Basher. Alternates, Bambi Blow. Nicola Virus. Tomb Raver. Welcome to Austin, Texas, home of Texas Roller Derby. Tonight we have Las Putas del Fuego versus the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Keep an eye on the skaters with the stars on their helmets. These are the jammers and the only skaters on the track who can score points. Right now, Like a Boss has broken out of the pack and is your lead jammer. That means she has a strategic ability of being able to call off the jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips. Right now she's scoring a whole bunch of points. The goal is to lap the pack, and the second time through you get a point for every opposing skater that you pass. And right now that ends up 3 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Yeah, we have a major penalty on Sassy Squasher for advancement.
Like a Boss jamming for the Putas, and Gnarly Carly jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. We had a major on the Rhinestone Cowgirls, Sassy Squasher for advancement. Therefore, Gnarly Carly had to take the jammer panty from her since they have to use the same pack. And it looks like a Boss has made it out, and she is hot on Gnarly Carly's tail.
Now, when Like a Boss scores her first point, she actually gets 2 points, one for the skater she passes and one for the ghost point, Sassy Squasher, sitting in the penalty box. The Rhinestone Cowgirls are down 1 skater with Sassy being in the penalty box, so they are trying to run away and not be points at this point because they are skating 1 woman down.
The Putas kind of gather together here. They're going to try to form a pack again. Boss calls it off. 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Sabotage got herself a good head start on that jam. Got some speed coming into the pack. Ooh.
Who was that went down?
I don't know, but
a little tiny one. I think it was Break and Bake.
It might have been. She jammed up against Sabotage pretty hard, but ended up tumbling down.
Looks like Mad Mexican is going to correct herself. She was dirty, and she does not want to get a major for that. And Sabotage is already back in the pack.
Scoring those points. Yes.
Gets around Corazon on the inside, and she is right behind Break and Bake, who is a runaway blocker. She cannot block Sabotage this far out of the pack. She's going to have to yield
Yes, the maximum distance you can be from the pack is 20 feet. If you are more than 20 feet, you cannot block the jammer. You can block other blockers. Jammers can block other jammers, but no blocker on jammer action 20 feet out from the pack.
That was a nice outside block by a Blazing Grace on Sabotage. Sabotage is back in the pack, calling it off. That's 6 points for Las Putas, 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Cold War jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Both jammers coming in real slow in this slow-going pack. Oh my gosh, Gnarly Carly's got her arm hooked around Boss, but she makes it out in front. And now we've got Cold War stuck behind a knockout, and the rest of these Putas in the back, Putahantas. Here she comes, coming around the side. Like a Boss already caught up to the pack. It's a mess out there, folks.
It is a mess out there. Skaters are hitting the ground left and right.
Sassy Squasher trying to stop Like a Boss, but it's hard.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's legal where she's at there on the track.
That's true. There wasn't really a pack there. 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestones.
All right, we have a minor penalty on Sassy Squasher for illegal engagement 20 feet outside the pack.
Ooh, girl, I saw that too. Here we go. Arm wrestle!
We had a minor penalty on Sassy Squasher of the Rhinestone Cowgirls. She was illegally engaging, which is where she was blocking more than 20 feet away from the pack. Very naughty. So she has spun an arm wrestle. She's going up against, it looks like a Boss up there.
Definitely Like a Boss. One of the best arm wrestling TXRD has ever seen.
I believe she's TXRD undefeated.
Is she?
I think so.
Hell yeah. And then here's one more for the books.
One more for the book. Uh-oh, table throwing is happening right now in Austin, Texas. There's some animosity between the two skaters. I can feel it from here. And the Rhinestone Cowgirls lose another point, bringing the score to 2 points for the Rhinestones, 16 for Las Putas del Fuego.
A Blazing Grace jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Sab coming in hard behind these Rhinestone Cowgirls. Whoop, and then she's coming on top. Whoa, Break and Bake tries to stop her in the front, but she gets around. Sabotage, such a strong skater. And we got a Blazing Grace just trying to get around Putahantas in the back, and Putahantas is not letting her out of her sights.
Sabotage is skating with extra fuego tonight. This is her final game with Las Putas del Fuego. She is retiring from the sport of roller derby, so she really wants to go out on a high note.
Putahantas and Smitey Mouse just made the most beautiful hole for their jammer, and Sab is going around for her third round, so she's going to try to score some more points. But a Blazing Grace is about to catch up, so Sabotage calls it off. 4 points for Las Putas, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, and Knockout is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Ooh, both skaters coming in hard.
Damn, Knockout just bulldozed her way. Yep, she did cheat. She's got to turn around. Sassy Squasher is fighting to get her way out. Gnarly Collie's going to give her a little whip, but Like a Boss coming from the inside. Whoa.
That was
Knockout
amazing.
Makes her move. She is your lead jammer. Sassy Squasher right behind her. Putas have got to try to slow these Rhinestones down. Cora's going to take Cattywampus out. Oh, no, Cattywampus takes Knockout to the inside. Sassy tries to go on Cora's high side, and that ain't going to work. 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
All right, on that one, we had a major penalty on the Rhinestone Cowgirls, Cattywampus for pushing.
We had a reskate. We got Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego, and Sassy Squasher once again jamming for the Rhinestones. Cattywampus totally cheated, committing a major by pushing. Ooh, Knockout goes right past Vanna Fook in the front there. Sassy Squasher staying low. She is out of the pack now. And Knockout is on her way. Look at these Putas getting slow. They've got Cold War behind her. Knockout just needs to go around her and call it off, which is exactly what she does. 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. We have Smitey Mouse jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Break and Bake jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Finally, Smitey has found someone a little bit more her size. Oh man, these jammers, these blockers are like holding so tight, but Smitey Mouse breaks through. She knocks a bad apple down, and she is your lead jammer. Break and bake, getting around Sabotage. She makes it. They are both clean.
Now, it's important to note that the Putas are down one skater. Rasta Fury had a major penalty for multiple infractions in the last jam. So Smitey Mouse definitely going to want to get her points and call this jam off. And she does.
Exactly what she does. Oh,
that is 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, and we have a miniature brawl.
looks like the Bikini Killer had something to say to Nicola Virus.
Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Gnarly Carly jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Gnarly immediately going high. Boss is going to follow her through. And
man,
Boss.
Gnarly. Yeah, Boss breaks out and Gnarly is stopped behind Corazon, Puta Hantas, and Knockout. You don't want to be behind those three.
That's a tough wall right there.
Yeah, that is.
Meanwhile, Like a Boss is making her way up to the pack and is ready to start scoring some points.
Dude, Gnarly Carly still stuck behind that wall of Putas.
Ooh.
Boss jumps over her on the inside line. I think she's still clean.
Yes.
Tries to get around Sassy Squasher and Cold War, and oh my gosh, Caddy Wampus coming up to help. There's some fists flying.
Ooh!
The Putas are trying to slow down, but I mean, everyone is going so slow. Boss is knocked out. She's gonna have to go in behind them in order to get on the track clean. Gnarly Carly still has not made it out of the pack. This is Boss's scoring position.
Yes, Boss can just kind of take her time at this point. Boss makes it out of the pack. And there's only about 5 seconds left on the clock. She's not going to make it around again. Boss goes ahead and calls off that jam. That is full jam. 5 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Mad Mexican jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Smitey Mouse jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Mad Mexican coming in high, nice. Break and Bake just made a nice little hole for her. Oh, she tries to jump over Knockout, but she is dirty. Meanwhile, Smitey Mouse is back behind a Blazing Grace and Bad Apple.
Mad Mexican's going back to correct herself. And there is quite the wall of Putas. And, oh, they let Mad Mexican go. Smitey Mouse.
Hightailed it out of there. Oh, man. Break and Bake taking Smitey Mouse to the rail with a little help from Bikini Killer.
Smitey Mouse is going to keep an eye behind her and try to block Mad Mexican.
Oh, totally
just missed her.
Mad Mexican makes a little hop, gets around her teammates. Smitey Mouse is just going to chase her and try to screw her up a little bit. The Rhinestone Cowgirls are going to have to stop these Putas in order to get Mad Mexican to score some more points. They're doing a great job of that.
Oh,
I don't know about that. That was
wow.
kind of close to the inside. She looked like she might have scratched on that a little. 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
So, how do you think the game's going? Y'all are doing pretty well.
I think it's going awesome. Yeah. I think we've been working hard. We've been learning from our mistakes. We're a solid team and love each other. So, yeah, dude. Sorry.
You've landed some pretty sweet hits in this last quarter.
Yeah, thank you. I've been really working on it, really working on my timing, really working on being like a force, really using like my body in the pack to just knock people around.
Have y'all talked about strategy or anything that y'all want to change for this next quarter?
Really, I think just keeping that positive Rhinestone vibe going and realizing it's just the first quarter. That's it. And I think we're going to kick ass. So it'll be good.
It is the second quarter of Texas Roller Derby, Rhinestones versus Las Putas del Fuego. And Knockout is jamming for Las Putas, but she just advanced. Is going to have to go back and correct herself. We have Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. The jammers are the skaters on with the stars on their helmets. They're trying to get out of the pack, lap the pack, and the second time through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater they pass. Sassy Squasher is broken out of the pack and is your lead jammer. That means she can call off the jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips, which she may need to do strategically because Knockout is also out of the pack and right behind Sassy. Sassy Squasher calls off that jam with 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls and 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. And Like a Boss coming in, hopping over Rhinestone and going right through the rest of them. But Mad Mexican, oh my God, where'd she come from? She just snuck out from behind.
She's so tiny.
Like a Boss trying to push her way. Oh, nice little love shove.
It wasn't enough to just pass her. She had to knock her too.
That was a love shove. That was a love. Oh my gosh, Corazon just making holes for her jammer. That was beautiful. That is 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
We have Smitey Mouse jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Oh, and Sassy Squasher going straight for Smitey Mouse. Sassy Squasher is jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
She's being extra sassy tonight, that little sassy Squasher.
Well, Smitey Mouse still makes it out and is your lead jammer. I'm glad to see the Rhinestone Cowgirls are still fighting with some serious fire because it is still the first half, and there's a lot of game left to play. Bitty Bitty Boom Boom knocking Bikini Killer.
And knocking herself down too, but that was a good hit. Mad Mexican sneaking around on the inside. She is out of the pack, and Smitey Mouse trying to get around Cold War. Cold War's like, I don't think so.
Cold War is a super long skater. She's
tall.
And
she's been doing this for a while. Woo! Smitey Mouse inches around, calls it off. 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 5 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Okay, a minor penalty on Gnarly Carly for a high block.
We had a minor penalty on Gnarly Carly of the Rhinestone Cowgirls for a high block. She has spun the tug of war.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun. Las Putas del Fuego have sent up Putahantas, who is incredibly strong.
Incredibly strong.
Incredibly strong. So we're going to see. It's not about how strong you are necessarily, though, because you are on wheels. It's all about strategy, placing your feet correctly, and then how strong you are.
You've never lived till you played tug of war on wheels. Gnarly Carly, oh my God.
They just keep pulling. Putahontas says,
Dude, Gnarly Carly's trying to grab the rail, and Putahontas takes her around. They're going to hug it out, y'all. They're going to hug it out. Aw, they love each other.
We all love each other here at
Hug it
TXRD.
Everybody just hug. Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Boss coming in hot right through the middle. Oh my gosh. Bad Apple almost had her. Cattywampus almost had her, but she is out.
Almost doesn't count.
Mad Mexican going down. Knockout taking her down. Rasta taking her to the inside. Ooh, Putahantas comes out of nowhere. Man, Mad Mexican is fighting. She's a little fighter tonight.
She is.
Like a Boss already back in the pack. Cattywampus trying to take her to the inside. She does do that successfully, and she's got to.
That happened.
She's got to. She go ahead. She calls it off. She's like, I can't chance this. 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego. 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
All right, we have a major penalty on Like a Boss for forearms.
We had a major penalty on Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss, the jammer used her forearm. Highly illegal. So Knockout has dropped back to jam in her place. Meanwhile, Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls has already broken out of the pack and is your lead jammer. Knockout's all the way at the back of the pack. Some of the Putas del Fuego are already starting to run. They don't want to be the point, and I don't blame them.
Knockout just got around the Rhinestone pack. None of them were looking at her. She flew by on the high side. Mad Mexican comes around, calls it off. 2 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 0 points for the Putas del Fuego. Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Sab trying to go in high and running into the back of Gnarly Carly, but she is coming on through, gets a little push by Corazon. Bonnefoot chasing her. Ooh. Smitey Mouse getting low. Sassy Squasher trying to get around Bitty Bitty Boom Boom. She jukes. Trying to get around Putahantas. Oh, she makes it barely. And she is out in front. Here comes Sabotage. Look at that graceful stride of her. She is beautiful. Just like flowing right now.
And those Rhinestones are running away, and they have to get out of her way because they are more than 20 feet from the sort of pack that may or may not exist.
Yeah. And it looks like Sab's going to call it off. That's 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Break and Bake is jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Knockout is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego.
Ooh, knockout right into the back of Bad Apple. Bad Apple goes down. That must have hurt.
Knockout is going back to correct herself. Apparently she advanced a little bit when she went down. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Back at the ranch, Break and Bake is your lead jammer. Dusty Double Wide yelling some insanity into that pack. She's pissed. And here comes Break and Bake. She's coming around, and it looks like the Rhinestones have one Puta. Break and Bake gets around, and she's going to call it off. So that's 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
All right, we have major penalty on a Blazing Grace for an illegal block.
Oh, man.
Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Break and Bake jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. We had a major penalty on the Rhinestone Cowgirls in the last jam. And
A Blazing Grace, actually.
yes, she was cheating, illegal blocking, highly illegal.
Backwards blocking. Illegal backwards blocking.
Illegal backwards
That's
blocking.
crazy.
Can you
Oh
believe
my
she's
gosh.
still in the game?
Knockout fighting her way past these Rhinestone Cowgirls. Oh my gosh.
They're falling on each other now.
That apple goes
Oh
down.
my goodness.
Oh no.
Ketty Wampus takes out Knockout and then just skates away like nothing happened.
Yeah, she wasn't even there. She wasn't even in that jam.
Wasn't even in that jam.
She's going to completely deny it.
We have a major penalty on Caddy Wampas for holding.
Smitey Mouse jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Sassy Squasher, jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. The Rhinestones are down. Caddy Wampus, she committed another major on the Rhinestone for holding. So let's see if Smitey Mouse can get out of this pack. Oh man, these blockers
it's so
are
tight.
killing these jammers right now.
Good grief. Smitey's so close, but Gnarly Carly skates in her way.
Just like you do. Oh my God, Smitey Mouse plays tightrope and she stays on the, oh no, she's got to go back around, she's got to get behind Gnarly Carly.
I don't know, it looked legit to me, but the referees, we'll
There
see.
goes Sassy Squasher. She is out in front, Smitey Mouse on her tail. These blockers are just going to hit the crap out of each other to get a good position for these two jammers coming in.
Putas need to keep an eye behind them. They need to be aware Sassy Squasher's coming in, and she wants some points.
She comes in, calls it off, gets 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Ooh, that pack is barely
Super
moving.
slow. Mad Mexican comes in hard. She's charging around this wall of Putas. Oh my goodness, that Puta wall is insane. Boss just breaks on through that Rhinestone wall, and Caddy Wampus is in her way. They are way out 20 feet, and she is blocking. She is blocking. She's not sure. I think Caddy Wampus just learned the rules of roller derby tonight, and she's a little.
She doesn't understand what's happening. It's confusing. I understand.
She's going to give a nice whip to Mad Mexican there. Meanwhile, Like a Boss plows through, calls it off. She gets 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
We have a major penalty on Caddy Wampas for illegal engagement 20 feet in front of the pack. That is her third major penalty. She's ejected.
Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. We are down to potentially the last jam of this half.
The Rhinestone Cowgirls are also down another player. Caddy Wampus was just ejected from this game. Suckers.
Suckers. 3 majors gets you ejected from this
Don't you
bout.
know, girl?
Don't you know? Meanwhile, this pack is racing. Like a Boss needs to.
Mad Mexican is like, she can't even make it through this pack of nothing because the
There's
Putas
no
are
pack.
skating in front of her.
Yeah.
So the Putas have got to at least stop one Rhinestone right now so that Boss can have a chance to score a point. Because right now this is just a race.
Yeah, this
It's
is a
NASCAR
race.
out there, y'all.
And Like a Boss is getting whips from her team, which is helping her gain
There
some
we go.
speed.
They're finally going to stop. Knock him down, y'all. Knock him down. Boss
Except-
coming around.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
Putas.
she just high blocked a Blazing Grace.
Well, we'll see what gets called. It looked like it to me, too.
Boss calls it off. Looks like 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
up to this, both teams will scrimmage a couple of times. Tell me how those scrimmages went and how that compares to what's happening tonight.
We lost pretty bad both times, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little worried coming into tonight.
Okay, well, obviously it seems like there's nothing to worry about so far, but there are two halves to this game.
I know, I mean, the Rhinestones are a second half team, so we're definitely aware of that, and that's why we were trying to double the scores so that we had a nice lead going into the second half.
This is your second game with the Rhinestone Cowgirls. They're jamming you a lot. Is this like a strategy you guys have tonight?
A little bit of jamming, a little bit of blocking, mostly jamming though.
You have some amazing blockers out there as well. Are you utilizing them?
Yes, Bikini Killer, she's also a new Rhinestone. She's amazing, she's huge, and she is figuring out how to block, and it's a great dynamic, me and her. So.
Yeah. So you guys are down a whole lot of points. Like, what's your plan for the next half?
So I was getting really frustrated, but I think at this point I'm just gonna have fun and try my hardest and try to kick some Puta butt.
If that's what you call looking frustrated, like, I would love you to be mad at me anytime.
I know I'm really adorable when I'm mad, so.
Mighty Mouse, y'all are doing very well this evening.
Yeah, that's surprising considering bout practice was kind of the opposite.
That's what Knockout was telling me. So moving into the second half, what is your focus?
Well, right now, not puking. I kind of got the bubble guts. I don't know what's going on here, but every time I jam, I come off, I'm like, I need a bomb bucket. I need a bomb bucket now. I haven't puked yet, so that's good. I think that we are just going to keep racking up the points and just see how far we can go. I want them to score some too.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fun game.
It's more fun that way.
Yes, it's so much more fun.
How you feeling, girl?
Feeling all right, really excited for the second half. Think we're about to make a big comeback.
You are backwards blocking like a maniac out there. Is that your thing?
It's my flat track roots. Yeah.
I think you got a major for it too. Maybe you're going the wrong way on the track.
Apparently I can't spin in circles and block at the same time. Who knew?
You can't do that?
Apparently not.
Oh. I don't know the rules either. I'm just here. I just work here, guys. So we just talked to some skaters, and there was a lot of fighting words. Rhinestone Cowgirls had a lot of dirty things to say about the Putas del Fuego.
Well, that is amazing because Las Putas del Fuego thinks the Rhinestones are being pretty dirty too. So I'm very excited to see if the Rhinestones can close that point gap. Stay tuned for the second half here on KCWX. All right, it is the second half of Texas Roller Derby. Putas del Fuego versus Rhinestone Cowgirls. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Those jammers have stars on their helmets. Keep an eye on them. They are trying to break through the pack, lap the pack, and the second time through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater that they pass. The first skater out of the pack clean, which is Like a Boss, is your lead jammer, and that lead jammer can call off this jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips. So right now, Like a Boss is making her way back to the pack so that she can score a point for every Rhinestone Cowgirl that she passes.
Knockout is just knocking girls all over the place on this track. She was all over Sassy Squasher.
Like a Boss is slowing down here. Looks like she may call off this jam by placing her hands on her hips. There she goes. That is 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Slow moving Rhinestones in the back. They pinned Sabotage. Nice little hit by Bad Apple. That shook Sabotage. Mad Mexican out in front. Rookie sensation Rhinestone Cowgirl tonight, Mad Mexican.
Mad Mexican's actually been on the team for a while, but she's had a broken foot.
Oh, this is only her second game as a Rhinestone. She told me during the interview. Ooh, getting a nice whip off of Bikini Killer there. These Putas are running away so hard. Sabotage trying to get around. Ooh, Biddy Boom Boom taking a hard hit down. We've got a race, guys.
Ooh, Smutty Mouse reaching back to give Sabotage a big whip, but in the meantime, Mad Mexican passes Smutty Mouse and is racking up those points.
Yeah, she is calling it off. Looks like 2 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Gnarly Carly jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego, getting that way head start back in the back.
Gnarly Carly comes around high, but she gets stopped by Like a Boss and Rasta Fury.
Ooh, Buffy Basher just takes her out. Good grief.
It was the Holy Trinity right there.
No
of blockers.
doubt. That's beautiful roller derby.
Oh,
all
yeah.
the team working together, all the pieces working
Gnarly
together.
Carly is feeling it. She got up after that last hit, and she is moving slow. Meanwhile, Knockout is coming in for her scoring pass. Cold War is going to drop back. Ooh. Psych! She gets on by, moving through this pack. Ooh, gives a nice shoulder to Vanna Fook there. And getting around Sassy Squasher, Knockoff's going to call it off. She got 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
All right, we have a major penalty on Las Putas del Fuego, knockout for pushing.
A Blazing Grace jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Smitey Mouse jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Smitey Mouse is
Smiling
just
for the
waving at the crowd,
photographers.
you know. Blazing Grace goes right into the back of Edge's skater, and she hooks around Corazon. What are you doing, honey? That is totally cheating. I talked to a Blazing Grace during halftime, and she claims the Putas were cheating the whole time.
Well, you know, I talked to Smitey Mouse, and she thought the Rhinestones were being egregiously dirty.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Smitey Mouse is out in front. She is your lead jammer. The Putas del Fuego have got Bad Apple in back, and she is not going to let her eye off of Smitey. Oh, nice couple of spin moves by Smitey Mouse. She's going to lightly call it off. 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego.
All right, I have 2 majors on the Rhinestone Cowgirls, Bad Apple and Mad Mexican for holding.
Mad Mexican taken down. Who was that? Bitty Bitty Boom Boom?
Yes. I don't know what just happened
this
there.
is a bench clear. We've got everybody on the track. Mad Mexican and Bitty Bitty Boom Boom are on the bottom of that pile.
I hope they're okay.
I hope so too, because Mad Mexican is so tiny. Everybody emerges from the war. No fatalities.
We had 2 majors on the Rhinestone Cowgirls. The Cowgirls are skating down 2 skaters with a Blazing Grace jamming for the Rhinestones, Smitey Mouse jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Smitey Mouse has already broken out and is your lead jammer. All of the skaters are tripping on each other at this
that was
point.
amazing defense by the Putas del Fuego, and Bikini Killer actually came in by herself and knocked that wall down to get a Blazing Grace through.
Very impressive.
But she's dirty. She is dirty. They are telling her she needs to go back and correct herself. Looks like Smitey Mouse is going to call it off and hug it out with a Blazing Grace. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss goes around high around a Gnarly Carly and Sassy Squasher. Oh! Everybody goes down. Sassy Squasher emerges out of the pack. Gets around Knockout. Coming around. Like a Boss is already halfway around the track. Ooh, Rhinestones just don't make that. It's all about timing on those hits right there. Like a Boss is going to wait for Sassy and call it off. That's 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Break and Bake jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Ooh, nice moves. Man, Sabotage looking smooth out there.
Ooh. The Blazing Grace almost keeps her back, but she realizes she's 20 feet out. Oh, man, Break and Bake fighting her way through this pack. Nice little assist by Bad Apple there, but she is stuck behind Rasta Fury.
Oh, man. And here comes Sabotage. Everybody's falling down around Sabotage.
A Blazing Grace, nice hit to the inside. Sabotage has to correct herself.
And Sabotage calls off that jam. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Both coming in super hot. They hit that pack hard. Look at Boss on Sassy Squasher. And look at all those Rhinestones on Knockout.
Good
oh, man.
grief.
You know, they're not hitting their hips together too hard, but trust me, they are. It's hurt getting hit by a hip out there. Knockout is your lead jammer. Sassy Squasher fighting her way, getting around Dom Draper, and like a boss, taking her to the rail. Oh, so close, but no cigar. Meanwhile, look at Knockout sneaking around there. Gets a little whip by Boss. Gets caught behind these rhinestone walls.
Both teams have clearly been working on their conditioning. They are still looking fresh, still hitting hard, still skating fast. It's really impressive.
Trying to break through that wall, but we run out of time in that jam. That's 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestones up against Smitey Mouse, jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Smitey's got a huge smile on her face. Ooh, Mad Mexican into the back of Rasa Fury, and she makes it around to the high side.
Oh, very nice.
She is on fire tonight. She is your lead jammer. In the meantime, Smitey Mouse looks like one of her skates is kind of messed up. I think she lost one of her stoppers. She's going to keep on going. Oh, man, that looked like a high block right in the middle of Mad Mexican's. Oh, my gosh. Bad Apple tries to give her a little shove. She gets a little too high and knocks her down. It happens, girl. Shake it off. 4 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
So this has been a pretty rough game.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you ready for a drink? What are you going to be drinking?
I want a bottle of Jack and a keg of Lone Star all to my self. Because this is bull. I love you, but this is bull. Just want to say that off the bat.
So the fights have been to a minimum. I'm surprised, honestly, that you haven't punched somebody yet.
It's going. It's going to happen. Keep your eyes on me because I got this.
Did y'all change your strategy from last time when you played the Holy Rollers?
Yeah, we really decided we didn't like losing. So now we're just trying to hit as many of these Rhineys as we can and knock them out of the park so we can have our jammer go through, get all of the points. Don't let them get any.
There's a little bit of anger going on both sides.
I'm not angry at all. I don't know what they're so angry about. Probably because they're losing.
It is the fourth and final quarter of Texas Roller Derby. Rhinestone Cowgirls versus Las Putas del Fuego. Keep an eye on the skaters with the stars on their helmet. They
can the panty.
Give it away. That is what we call a star pass.
Only to the pivot, though.
That's
y'all.
right. The jammer can give away the pivot panty, or the jammer panty to the pivot only, which is the stripe on the helmet. And now Sabotage is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego, but Mad Mexican calls off that jam after getting just 1 point. That is 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 1 point for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
That was a perfect panty pass.
It was really nice.
Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss swooping around on the bottom side.
Woo!
She pushes Cora out of the way and shoves Sassy out of the way as well. Like a Boss is your lead jammer. Like a Boss, y'all. Sassy Squasher trying to catch up. The Putas del Fuego have got to knock down, slow down some of these Rhinestones to let Boss score some points. Ooh, nice juke move. Takes herself out. No big deal. Sassy's coming around, calls it off. That was a 4-point jam for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, and Sabotage is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego.
Ooh, Sabotage right into the back of Break and Bake, just pushing. That's a little bit of a cheating move, but whatever,
Commonly used.
Commonly used cheating move. Mad Mexican trying to get around Rasta Fury. Rasta's got a great smile on her face. She loves black.
Break and Bake goes and takes out Sabotage.
Holy spicoli. Where does she come from?
All right.
Mad Mexican is dirty. She's got to get back in this pack and correct herself. In the meantime, Sabotage is your lead jammer. Mad Mexican corrects herself. Bambi Blow takes her to the rail. Bad Apple gives her an elbow and says, "You suck."
Here comes Sabotage, scoring some points.
Coming around, so graceful. Oh, a blazing grace, doing her backward block thing, and she goes down. That looked like a football
Bad Apple
tackle.
Using her hands all over Sabotage. I would too. Can't say that I blame her.
That was a hard, strong body. I put my hands on it.
Finish that jam with 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego, and Bad Apple jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
Like a Boss dancing for Las Putas del Fuego.
Might as well. She's having a good old time.
Oh man, look at that wall of rhinestones. Boss cannot get around to Blazing Grace. She uses Putahantas' shirt and whips herself into the front of the pack. Bad Apple stuck behind Putahantas. She is trying, gets around on the inside. She is a lap behind Boss, who's coming in. Ooh, barely misses Mad Mexican's hit, but a Blazing Grace gets her out. She's got to correct herself in front of Grace. In the meantime, here comes Bad Apple, so Boss calls it off. That is 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. A Blazing Grace jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Knockout just goes straight through the pack.
Like butter.
Says, I don't care who's here. I'm going to go score some more points.
I'm that good.
I'm that good.
A Blazing Grace trying to get around Putahantas. She keeps getting knocked down, getting back up. She is flying through the pack. Oh my gosh, Knockout is already in the pack, scoring points like a boss all over a Blazing Grace.
Nobody touched her. Knockout has the opportunity. She's still in the lead.
She's still in front of a Blazing Grace, who has just made it out of the pack. Knockout is going in for her second scoring pass. Here she comes. She's going to keep an eye on that jammer.
Hit it and quit it.
Nice knockout.
2 full passes there.
Nice blocking by those Puta blockers. That's 7 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Break and Bake, who is jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Like a Boss going in, ooh, right into a Blazing Grace, and tries to get past her own Puta wall. And Bad Apple is waiting in the front for her.
Oh, takes herself out. That hurts.
Yes, she does. And Boss is your lead jammer. Meanwhile, Corazon all over Break and Bake, but she falls. It looks like Tomb Raver's going to try to block her. She gets around there, getting a nice whip off of Mad Mexican. And here comes Like a Boss.
Getting them points.
She scratched, though. I'm pretty sure she went around on that white line there.
She may have, yes. We'll see what the refs call.
She's going to call it off. 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Buffy Basher jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. Buffy giving some elbows.
Do it.
Taking it to the bank. And she goes down, and it looks like Mad Mexican's taken to the rail by Bitty Bitty Boom Boom. Putahantas, I think, used her forearms a little bit to push, and Mad Mexican coming around hot. Looks like a Blazing Grace has
man.
Buffy. Oh, man, everybody goes down.
Bowling for Derby.
Jammer's back up. Bad Apple taking Buffy to the inside. Buffy looking for that whip, looking for that arm. She needs some help getting through. Bad Apple is all over this jammer.
Those elbows hurt. Ooh. That hip hurts.
That hip hurts, y'all. Mad Mexican trying to get through this pack. Buffy Basher is your lead jammer. Mad Mexican being held back by these crazy Puta del Fuego blockers.
There's only about 7 seconds left in this 1 minute jam. So we'll see if Buffy can score a point quick before the time runs out.
She's just got to pick up her pace.
2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls.
All right, we have majors on both teams. Bitty Bitty Boom Boom for illegal engagement, and a Blazing Grace for multiple infractions, a high block, and in blocking out.
We had a major penalty on each team. Bitty Bitty Boom Boom is in the penalty box for Las Putas del Fuego, a Blazing Grace in the penalty box for the Rhinestone Cowgirls, so we are reskating last jam. And Mad Mexican jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls is out front in your lead jammer, Buffy Basher, still trying to get herself out of the pack.
Trying to use her fellow skaters, but she is having a hard time getting around Dom Draper, Vanna Fook, and Bad Apple. Mad Mexican coming in for the score. Oh. She makes it around. Buffy Basher goes in for the hit, but it's all about timing, and she does not make it. Here comes Mad Mexican. There's a little bit of a scuffle between Putahantas and somebody. I don't know who that is down there. And it looks like Edgy Skater's going to go in for Mad Mexican. She calls off that jam.
4 points for the Rhinestone Cowgirls. 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
Sassy Squasher jamming for the Rhinestone Cowgirls up against Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Knockout trying to use that rail and go high, but Break and Bake is all over her with Cold War and Bikini Killer. Meanwhile, Bambi Blow is keeping Sassy from getting out of this pack. You know, it's the last game of the game, and these girls are hitting them like it's the first game of the game. I love it. I love Texas roller derby.
Very special to watch what happens here in Austin, Texas.
They either fight it out or hug it out. We're not sure what's happening.
A little bit of
Where
tickling.
are the jammers, y'all?
Think they're on the ground. I don't know. It looks like a good time.
We ran out of time in that jam. 0 points for either team.
That's the end of the game. Your winners are Las Putas del Fuego.
Bad Apple, how you feeling?
Surprised. Honestly, we really thought that we were going to do a lot better for this bout, but we still just came out there, fought like a team, fought more like a team than we have before because we're fairly new, skating together, and it was just still really, really fun no matter what, so that's what matters, right?
Was this game what you expected tonight?
Well, yes, in that I expected us to kick their asses. I didn't expect it to be as crazy as it was, but I like the aggression. We're going to go with it.
There were a lot of penalties tonight. Are you working on maybe like guiding your team to cleaning this game up?
What are you implying?
I'm just saying you are a dirty, dirty puta.
I am here with Break and Bake, rookie sensation, playing for the Rhinestone Cowgirls tonight. How do you feel after that loss?
I don't feel bad. I felt like we learned a lot. We came together, third, fourth quarter, like they said before, that they're a third and fourth quarter kind of team. So we learned a lot from it. I've gotten a lot of experience for them. Dusty Double Wide is always so great about teaching the guns and giving us feedback when we need it.
So you were telling me about your nerves this morning and how that's kind of a pattern for you. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about that?
So pretty much every game that I've been in that I've puked before, I've won. And then the games that I didn't, we lost. And so just like, it feels good because I finally feel after like all day of feeling like I'm going to blow chunks, I'm finally not going to blow chunks anymore. And I can relax and have a beer, sit back with my team and celebrate.
So how do you feel after this loss tonight, not being able to get out there and skate with your team?
I mean, it sucks not being able to skate with my team. It also sucks to like see such a big point difference. But when you're in the middle so much and you see what your team is doing, you see these really good glimpses of really awesome things that are happening. And then you look at the other team and you know they're scoring a lot, but they just look like dead-eyed and sad. Like they're like almost like what is it, like androids.
So as the captain of this team, it has to feel really good to see everything really come together. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, man. Our first game, it was my first time captaining and everything was a little scattered, if you will, but I feel like we really came back from that, and that's what we do every single year. It's kind of a pattern. We lose the first game and then go, oh, we have to get serious. We can't just around. So we just kind of bunker down and work our asses off.
And that concludes our game for the evening. 91-33, the Putas del Fuego come out on top.
They definitely skated like the reigning Cavello Cup champions that they are tonight.
Oh, man.
Even being 2 down. So that was very exciting to watch. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks for joining us here on KCWX.